The old barn is no more. This is what a $35 million renovation gets you. The venerable Reynolds Coliseum, now the country's Taj Mahal for women's basketball and NC State in particular. The Pack already have wins over top 25 foes, Notre Dame and Florida State, and look to earn their third top 25 victory of the season over 12th ranked Duke.
Carolina for women's college basketball in the Atlantic Coast Conference on a Sunday afternoon. Our matchup on ACC College Hoops as we come inside Reynolds Coliseum. Duke and NC State meeting for the 78th all-time. And Duke has won 9 of the last 12, but NC State has won 2 in a row in the series. We'll feature some top guards in the conference, and we start with Lexi Brown from Duke. Chelsea Shine.
What an addition she's been for this Duke team, transferring from Maryland. She's added so much to the guard position. And on the other side, Maya Spencer, just a senior veteran guard who wants to get her team back to the NCAA tournament. As Maya Spencer goes, NC State goes.
We do a side-by-side comparison of the quarterbacks in our game today, and the wins, very good. And the losses, the drop-off with the assists and the turnovers.
Well, and Tom, the biggest thing to note here is when they've lost these games, these two players are struggling with turning the ball over. So taking care of the basketball will be huge, starting at that point guard position. But you're talking about two of the top scoring defenses here in Duke and NC State in the league, holding teams to just about 56 points per game. So it could be a pretty defensive-heavy affair this afternoon.
And those last two meetings have been wins by the NC State Wolfpack. Turnovers an issue for Duke in those meetings. Last year they met on January 14th. That game was at Duke. A 65-62 win for NC State. Their first win at Duke since 1996. And they won the last one here on their campus 2 years ago as well.
Cameron Indoor Stadium is not an easy place to win. I know I never accomplished that feat. So for NC State to not only beat them on their home court, but do it again last year at Duke is impressive. They sort of have had Duke's number, if you will, in the past year or so.
NC State with the ball to start the game. They're in the white. Duke is in the blue. To further that victory last year, Duke had won 152 straight games at home against unranked opponents before NC State beat them. Up for grabs and taken by the Blue Devils.
Kendall Cooper inserted into the starting lineup with that rebound last game versus UNC. In the starting lineup again today, has added a spark for Duke inside.
That was a win on Thursday at home for Duke against North Carolina, 70-58. Despite shooting less than 50% for the free throw line for the Blue Devils. Knocked away, out of bounds, Pack basketball.
It's a quick turnover for Duke, trying to make that pass inside. NC State plays a scrappy sort of style of defense. Good with the hustle plays, trying to disrupt Duke.
Wolfpack number 23 in the country with a 13-5 record. 3-2 in conference play, and they started so impressively with the wins against Notre Dame and Florida State in the conference portion of the schedule. The jumper is good from the baseline. It's Chelsea Nelson.
Chelsea Nelson has been playing so well for NC State, third in the ACC in scoring percentage, normally finding her buckets inside early. That time starts her offense with a short jumper.
She led the team with 18 points in their most recent game against Syracuse. Spencer weaves her way to the corner.
You'll see Duke trapping in that corner in this matchup zone, trying to create turnovers.
Greenwell pulled it down. Greenwell has struggled recently, especially from the three-point line, where she's one of the school's all-time best. That'll drop for Odom.
Yana Odom has really been stepping up for Duke. Highly touted recruit. He started here in the starting lineup the past couple of games, and offensively had a breakout game against UNC Thursday night, something Coach P. McCauley is really excited about, her offense coming along.
That is a long distance three, and it's good from Ashley Williams.
Boy, she's so good from behind the arc, and NC State, one of the top three-point shooting teams in the ACC, and if they can start to get hot from behind that arc, could pick up the lead and extend it here.
Pack 5th best in the conference from distance. Shot clock is at 9 for Duke. Greenwell gets a fresh shot clock.
Well, Greenwell leads the team in rebounding as a guard position. She is a bigger guard at 6 feet, but to have a guard lead your team in rebounding is impressive.
Leads them in scoring as well. Drive from Greenwell, and she's in the box score. She averages over 17 points per game, tied for 5th in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
She's someone whose offense has been struggling as well. To see a shot go in early for her might really help her confidence, as she's been struggling to find easy offense for this Duke team.
Looks like she may have reached in there. That foul will go against Duke. And that's Lexi Brown picking up her first. Yeah, Greenwell's averaged only 9 points over the last 4 games for someone who leads the team in scoring. Inbounds pass was tipped, but Williams recovers.
What you can be happy about, though, is you've got 3 other players who've led the team in scoring over the past 3 games, and Rebecca Greenwell not one of them. Lexi Brown, Kyra Lambert, Leanna Odom. So you're starting to see that depth with this offense for Duke.
Duke's won 11 of their last 12 games, and that jumper is good. A 2 from Kendall Cooper.
She can hit that high post jump shot. That time just not enough space to get that off.
Cooper's a senior from Carson, California, and shoots 53% from the floor. 9 points, 8 boards against North Carolina in their most recent game for the Blue Devils. Matarine with a 3.
You don't see many post players of her size able to consistently knock down that shot, but she can shoot the 3 as well as find inside presence, so you've got to guard her everywhere on the court.
She's made 27 threes this season, and free throws coming up after that drive and a foul against the Pack. Matarine picks up her first. 6'1" senior from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. So Kyra Lambert, sophomore at the free throw line. 74% on the season from the stripe.
Kyra Lambert, somebody I asked Coach P. McCauley about this morning after their shoot around. She said she's rock solid and sort of pulls the guards together. She pulls Lexi Brown and Rebecca Greenwell together and sort of that forms that trio. So again, just a sophomore, Kyra Lambert's really started to get aggressive on the offense again, which is what I think Duke needs as they continue in ACC play.
Entry pass. Foul in the lane on Cooper. That's her first. NC State played Thursday at number 24 Syracuse, losing 85-75. They shot the ball well in the game, though. 51% from the floor for Westmore's Wolfpack.
NC State also had all 5 of their starters score 10 points or more. And normally when you see stats like that, you think it's going to be a win. But when Alexis Peterson decides to have a historic night with 45 points, it makes it a little more difficult.
Odom picks up the foul for Duke, her first.
That's the 13th foul. Chelsea Nelson at the line.
Nelson is at the free throw line. 70% from the line. Odera Cheatham has committed the game for Duke.
And Coach P. McCauley's able to rotate her post players, Kendall Cooper, Odera Cheatham, and Aaron Mathias, very frequently. Alternates who's starting, who's not. The past 2 games has gone with Kendall Cooper, but to still be able to have someone like Odera Cheatham coming off the bench, again, speaks to the depth that this Duke team has.
How about the drive from Odom? It spins off the edge of the rim, but Cheatham is there to follow it up. She's the 5th different player to score in the early going for Duke. 1-point lead for the Blue Devils. Spencer baseline. Matarine for 3. Greenwell pulls it in. Matarine not shy about shooting that 3-pointer.
Oh, she works on it, though. You're going to be able to take those shots. You got to hit it. Here's Maya Spencer in transition.
Greenwell on her hip. It doesn't bother her. The layup is good.
So quick. Such a spark for this team up top in their defense. Able to get steals, which lead into easy transition offense for Spencer.
That is her first basket of the game. Greenwell cut off. Nelson was defending. It's going to be a traveling violation. We'll take a timeout. The Pack and the Blue Devils from Reynolds Coliseum at a 1-point lead for NC State. A 1-point lead for NC State in this battle of top 25 teams. The Wolfpack on their home court this year, 9-1. 1-1 in conference play. And they're 4-2 in their last 6 games. After going 20-11 a season ago, where they played their home games at Broughton High School. While the renovation, the magnificent renovation of this facility was being completed last season.
I remember playing here against NC State, and it has they've done a beautiful job with this renovation, just state of the art. I know all the players like it, and Dominique Wilson finding her offense with a little reverse layup.
First basket of the game for Dominique Wilson. Spinning in traffic, Cheatham lost the handle. Williams breaks away.
Good dig in by Maturine to help on that post up down low.
Got her defender in the air, and she lays it in the pass came from Spencer.
With Chelsea Nelson and Maturine establishing themselves inside, it has taken pressure off of NC State's three-point shooting ability. Their guards have had some pressure taken off. It's really opened up opportunities for NC State now being able to find offense both inside and out.
Spencer had a season-high 9 assists in the game against Syracuse earlier in the week, but this time Maturine shuffles the feet and travels. Just the first turnover for NC State in this first quarter.
I talked to Maya Spencer earlier, and I said, so do you have a little more confidence now throwing the ball inside when you know you've got the third best shooting percentage scorer inside in Chelsea Nelson? And she said, yeah, we know if we need a bucket, we can go inside. And again, just having that inside presence has made it easier for NC State guards, not only to find that offense inside, but to open up opportunities for them in their shots.
Chelsea Nelson got the board, gave it to Spencer. Williams, always a threat to pull the trigger from beyond the arc. It comes from the other side, and it's good. Dominique Wilson. It's a 9-0 NC State run. Timeout, Duke.
Wow. That was a contested long three to extend the lead here. So even finding that inside presence again, the three ball has been falling for NC State.
Dominique Wilson, the leading three-point shooter on the team. We welcome you inside Reynolds Coliseum. NC State leading Duke. 18-10, 2:17 to go in the first quarter. Tom Worley, Chelsea Shine, and our outstanding ACC College Hoops production crew in Raleigh, North Carolina. Number 23 NC State against number 12 Duke. 78th all-time meeting in this long-standing rivalry. Duke has turned it over for the 4th time in the quarter. Spencer steps into a three. Recovered by Maturine. Williams, it's a three.
And she's already hit one this afternoon. Duke left her wide open on that possession. Ashley Williams started her career as a walk-on on this team and has been in the starting lineup between last year and this year, having so many more opportunities. And Greenwell, right, we see a little more of the three ball tonight. Hasn't hit quite as many as she has in non-conference play in conference play, but finally gets one to go after going 0 for 8 Thursday night against UNC from behind the arc.
Told you NC State lost Thursday at Syracuse. Well, today Georgia Tech beat the Orange at home at McCamish Pavilion, 75-66, and it's another three-pointer from NC State. Dominique Wilson now with 8 points.
How about Dominique Wilson? When NC State and Duke met twice last year, I asked Wes Moore sort of what was the key, what was the difference. He said we made shots against Duke, and that's what they've been able to do against this zone so far.
Greenwell, great entry pass, and that's an easy bucket for Odom, who's got 4. What a way to start the conference schedule for NC State. December 29th, they won at home against then number 2 Notre Dame. First game of the conference schedule. Had lost all 5 previous meetings against the Irish. Followed it up with a win against Florida State. Shot clock at 4. Reach-in foul against Duke. Kendall Cooper, she's picked up her second.
Cooper in early foul trouble with 2 in the first quarter, and that'll bring Aaron Mathias off the bench.
Lambert is also back in for Duke. Just a second left on the game clock, and it's knocked out of bounds by Greenwell. It's the end of the first quarter. NC State has a lead over Duke, 24-15 at Reynolds Coliseum. Again, we welcome those of you who watched Georgia Tech defeat Syracuse. Our score after 1, 24-15. NC State has the lead against Duke. Tom and Chelsea courtside here at Reynolds Coliseum. And our Hardy stars to watch feature guard play between the Blue Devils and the Pack today, Chelsea.
Yeah, well, Lexi Brown and Maya Spencer are the 2 players that really set the tempo for their team. Lexi Brown, a transfer from Maryland, has added a lot to Duke this year, and Maya Spencer just a veteran guard. But key thing here, in the losses, you'll see that the turnovers have been the issue for these guards. And that's a key for tonight, is taking care of the basketball. But so far, both of these guards really trying to set the tone for their team on both ends of the floor.
Duke shooting 50% from the floor so far, but trailing by 9 as we start the second quarter. NC State has made 5 three-pointers so far and built that lead. Shot clock is at 8 for Duke. Lambert. Cut off. Mathias. Greenwell tapped it around, but right to Spencer.
And a good defensive possession by NC State.
2 points, 3 assists in the first quarter for Spencer. Anderson has come in for NC State. She made the entry pass to Nelson.
How about Nelson? Fumbled the ball trying to catch it, but able to gather herself and score inside against a couple of Duke defenders.
5 points for Nelson. Largest lead of the ball game for NC State. The foul goes against the Pack. Chelsea Nelson, her first. Wes Moore, 4th-year head coach for NC State.
And he quickly takes her out of the game because she is susceptible to getting into foul trouble, and she plays so hard, which she says you love about her, but sometimes she plays too hard and they need her in the game and need her offense in there, so he doesn't want to risk her picking up a second one early.
Monterine gave it back to Spencer. Brown got a piece of it. Go into the corner. Fight for that ball. Held ball situation. And the arrow will favor NC State. It's been a great season thus far for the Blue Devils, number 12 in the country. Last year, they could not get a win against a top 25 team, but look at those wins. South Carolina, Kentucky, and Louisville all this season.
Those aren't just top 25 wins. Those are some top 10 wins. Still the only team to beat South Carolina so far this year, though they will face UConn later in February.
That could be an issue. UConn has won 91 games in a row now, so will be a challenging matchup. So Lexi Brown just left the ball game. 2 personal fouls for Brown. Bruce Morris, Joanne Aldrich, Jennifer Rezac are officials for our game this afternoon. Spencer trying to get around Greenwell. The help defensively came, and here comes Greenwell. Up ahead, and it's a layup. Lambert had it, beat the field down the court at 4 points.
Good transition push for Duke. You saw Rebecca Greenwell with her eyes up that whole time. Caught her guard counterpart sprinting the floor in Kyra Lambert.
Deflected by Mathias and a turnover.
That time Maya Spencer looking for Dominique Wilson running the baseline, but Aaron Mathias at 6'4" is able to pick that pass off.
Attempted save on the baseline by Cheatham. Couldn't do it. For Westmore and NC State, we told you about that start to conference play. Number 2 Notre Dame, and number 6 Florida State wins to start things. Did go 10-6 in the conference last year, but just like Duke, did not participate in the NCAA tournament.
That win over Notre Dame was only Notre Dame's second loss in conference play since joining the league. Miami was the only other team to do it, so an impressive win for NC State over Notre Dame early. And
first foul on Mays. Notre Dame, the 3-time defending champ at the ACC Women's Tournament, which this year moves to Conway, South Carolina. A lot of basketball to play between then and now as Greenwell misfires. Wilson takes it back out for a reset. Tureen ran into a double team. 6.5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
And if I'm Westmore, I wonder about getting Chelsea Nelson back in the game soon. Just not quite as many options looking inside against this zone without her in there.
Anderson missed the 3. Lambert is 1 on 3. Takes the shot anyway.
An aggressive take, but no numbers for Duke on that possession.
Anderson, another 3 attempt. Greenwell comes away with it. Guarded closely by Dominique Wilson.
Both of these teams looking to push the tempo now, picking up speed a little bit, getting stops and trying to find some transition. And on cue, here comes Chelsea Nelson.
Spencer and Maturine and Mays all going to the NC State bench. Cassell has come in. 24 in white. Lexi Brown has returned for Duke. Couple of fouls. Greenwell couldn't get that angle on the backboard. Here comes NC State.
NC State's defense has made it difficult for Duke to get much inside easy. A good help defense on the interior.
NC State has not scored over the last 3.5 minutes. That's a near steal, but it goes out of bounds off of Duke. NC State maintains possession with 5:11 to go in this quarter. And now a substitution for the Wolfpack as Wilson comes in. Anderson leaves. Shot clock is at 6. Over the edge of the rim and good. Cassell with the basket.
Good job by Cassell to be an option for Ashley Williams when she was double teamed in the corner. Able to post up and give her guard an option. Good finish inside.
Foul on the drive. And there was a timeout on the court. 4:48 to go in the first half. 28-17 NC State.
I was really lost for words when I walked in there. We all went in there as a team, literally lost for words. I mean, it still has that Reynolds feeling, but like I told you, it's more modernized, and like the fans are closer to the court. It's a brighter arena. It's just really beautiful.
You would have to agree from that assessment. $35 million renovation to this facility. K-Yao Court, the home of NC State women's basketball.
It is beautiful. Like I said, I remember playing here for 4 years when we would play at NC State at the old Reynolds Coliseum. So much history, but what I love about this arena now is they've kept some of the old seats. They have some of the old court posted sort of around the different hallways and main entrance areas. So you really do keep that history while giving it that intimate but sort of big arena feel.
There's so many displays throughout the arena representing the rich athletic history of NC State, not only in basketball, but across the board in all sports, as NC State has taken a timeout. You know, back in 1979 and 82, this facility hosted the ACC Women's Tournament. Told you that we're going to Conway this year. You know that, Chelsea, that we're headed there for the tournament. But this building, which they have reduced the capacity down to 5,000, but it is a perfect size, an intimate setting, as you heard Spencer say. But the shine, no pun intended, is still on this building. Beautiful floor. You just look around and you see so much great history from the various sports programs.
No question, and they bring that all together while having a state-of-the-art building. So when you talk about bringing in recruits now, to be able to walk in and see sort of the bling side of things while also getting that history is something Wes Moore, a term Wes Moore used, the bling, I will say, use that term to attract high school students who he's trying to recruit here to his program.
The pull-up jumper rattles out for Nelson. Duke just won for its last 7 field goal attempts in this quarter. Mathias.
NC State's defensive pressure is what has caused this little scoring drought for Duke, not making anything easy, forcing those long contested jumpers.
Ely, Williams, and a whistle. Mathias has picked up her first for Duke. Williams. Back iron, long rebound. Prim. Thought about a pull-up. Greenwell is open. Off the mark for Greenwell, who does have a 3 to her credit in the game, but as Chelsea mentioned, has struggled scoring, and that is really reflected. Here you can see the drop-off points per game in ACC games as opposed to the non-conference schedule for Coach McCauley.
Well, certainly the ACC is not an easy league to play in. But Rebecca Greenwell has struggled to score, which I think has contributed to that lowered rate of scoring for Duke.
Wolfpack gets it back for a new shot clock. No, the ball did not hit the rim, so the shot clock down to 7. Wilson. Foul against Duke underneath as Odom was defending. That's her second personal foul.
Dominique Wilson, who's knocked down a 3 from that same exact location, able to get a little pump fake out there. You've got to guard her now that she's knocked that shot down, able to put it on the deck and draw the foul.
11-point performance at Syracuse for Dominique Wilson, who averages over 10 points per game. One of the better free throw shooters on the team as well, at 85% despite that miss. We saw Belton come into the game for Duke. Senior from Powder Springs, Georgia now with 9 points for NC State as Maturine is back in. Cassell will go to the bench. Rebecca Greenwell just 1 of 4 from three-point distance. The team 2 of 6 for Duke long-range shooting.
For Rebecca Greenwell, you have to keep shooting the ball. The biggest thing during a scoring drought is time and score, finding your right shot in rhythm. And that time, Lene Belton trying to put the ball on the floor and slip.
Just inside 3 minutes to go in the second quarter.
NC State's been able to handle the three-quarter court extended pressure that Duke has extended up. They haven't had any problems so far with that. They were practicing that in shoot-around earlier, but now here's a steal in the half court.
Prim in a 2-on-2 situation. Maturine got back. It was off of NC State and out of bounds. Duke basketball.
The NC State bench doesn't think so. Greenwell sort of pulled her hands back as if to say she saw it get touched.
May have been an altering of that ball's trajectory. Potentially tipped. Officials right on top of it. Lambert trying to get away from Williams.
That was board.
Nelson come flying in there to try to grab it.
Chelsea Nelson, 6'2", which is a good size, but just the way she battles in there. There's the jumper from Lambert, and watch Nelson get up there and hold on to that thing. Pick up the foul.
Mathias picked up the foul for Duke. So she's gone to their bench. A couple of personals. 10-point lead in the second quarter for NC State. Working on a 2-game winning streak in the series, although they turn it over. Passing in tight quarters. Up ahead to Prim. Greenwell is the leading scorer for the Blue Devils. She's got 5. Williams.
I think Duke settled for that shot. A little too early in the shot clock. A high post jumper when they haven't been hitting those down. And there's another turnover trying to get the ball inside to Nelson.
Greenwell on the dribble. Cheatham was the cutter. Spencer hit the deck, and the foul is going against Duke.
Spencer right on the baseline, heels on the baseline. As Cheatham drives, draws the charge.
First foul on Cheatham. You saw Greenwell going to the bench for Duke. She's got 5 points. 1 of 4 from 3. The other end is Wilson, and that's a 3 for NC State.
Well, Wilson recognized she had Belton on her, had the quickness advantage, able to do a 1-2 dribble step back shot.
12 points for Wilson. Largest lead of the game. Duke has only 4 points in this quarter, and now they've got 6.
Good recognition by Lambert. Rejected the screen because she saw the high hedge there from Cassell. Goes the other way, able to pull up.
Williams. Backing it up.
That was about 2 feet off the three-point line. Feet check, maybe.
9 points for Ashley Williams. traveling on Belton. Seventh turnover for Duke. 10 points off of those turnovers for NC State. We documented that near the top of the broadcast. When the guard play is solid, these teams have success. And we'll keep an eye on that turnover situation for the teams and how that reflects in the result of our game this afternoon.
And you've got Lexi Brown, Rebecca Greenwell, and Liana Odom all on the bench. Greenwell coming in now, but some of these turnovers that Duke has committed are unforced turnovers. Travels, charges, it's just being aware of where the defense is.
Blue Devils shooting 33% in the first half. Just 5 seconds to go. Lambert trying to beat that clock. Bit of a wild shot over the top of the backboard and back to NC State with just 0.5 seconds to go in the half. How about 50% shooting for the Wolfpack in the first half, and they will leave the court with the lead 35-21 here at Reynolds Coliseum against the number 12 Duke Blue Devils. We'll come back with our halftime report. This is ACC College Hoops on a Sunday afternoon. We welcome you to the Hardy's halftime report from Reynolds Coliseum. Recently renovated and recognizing the greats in NC State athletic history, and that certainly includes Kay Yao. 34 years as the head coach here, 680 wins, the most in school history, certainly part of some of the ACC's most memorable moments. It's one of the more iconic and poignant moments in tournament history. 2007 ACC semifinal between 24th ranked NC State and number 1 Duke, who were 30-0 on the season, the best start in ACC history. Coach Kay Yao, in the midst of her battle with cancer, mustering up all the courage she could to urge her team against the nation's best. And her Wolfpack responded. Trailing by 8 points with 6 minutes remaining, the Pack mounted a comeback, getting big baskets from Ashley Key to empower NC State to a 70-65 win. The momentum swings in the game were what many will remember, but the post-game reactions from each team will go down as some of the best visual images in ACC tournament history. Chelsea, my goodness, how about those celebrations and reactions, and more relief from Coach Yao than anything. Well, look at that team celebrating there at the ACC tournament.
The emotions that you have at the ACC tournament is almost like the whole entire season doesn't matter. It's like a new season at this point, but the elation you feel when you win, when you pull those upsets, and the defeat that you feel when you lose. And for this NC State team, the inspiration that they had, you're playing for something and someone so much bigger than yourself and your team, and you can see that in the way that they reacted in that game.
It will be so exciting when we head to Conway, South Carolina for this year's edition of the ACC tournament. And based on what we've seen so far this year, it should be incredibly exciting when all the teams converge on Conway, South Carolina.
Now, Notre Dame has won the past 3 straight ACC tournaments, but I have a feeling it could be a little different this year with such a deep league, a new location this year. It should be fun, and like I said, the depth of this league so far in just the beginning has been impressive.
Yeah, NC State has already posted a win against Notre Dame this year, so it's already been very exciting, and you can be a part of all the action. Come celebrate the 40th anniversary of the ACC Women's Tournament at the HTC Center on the campus of Coastal Carolina University in Conway, South Carolina. The Myrtle Beach area will be the destination for the 14-game, 5-day event beginning on March 1st, and you can be part of the action. Visit theacc.com for more information.
ACC College Basketball is sponsored by Hardee's, the official biscuit of today's presentation of ACC basketball.
Back on the NC State campus in Raleigh, outside of Reynolds Coliseum, the statue of Kay Yao. 34 years, the head coach, 4 times an ACC tournament champion on the court here inside Reynolds Coliseum, named after Kay Yao. And The Wolfpack's Dominique Wilson with a huge first half. How about 12 points? The only player to get to double figures.
And Dominique Wilson 3 for 3 from behind the arc, perfect from the floor. Doing a great job of reading what the defense gives her. Has found herself able to shoot some open threes, made some contested threes. Also knowing when to put the ball on the deck.
She and her teammates 7 of 16 from three-point distance. They've got the halftime lead. We thank you for watching the Hardys Halftime Report.
ACC College Basketball is sponsored by the official corporate champions of the ACC, Geico, New York Life, Food Lion, Toyota, and Bojangles.
Picture perfect sky on a Sunday afternoon in Raleigh, North Carolina. 35-21 is the NC State halftime lead. Earlier today, many of you saw Georgia Tech beat Syracuse 75-66. How about Kaylin Pugh, Chelsea? 28 points to lead the way.
She's a big transfer for Georgia Tech, coming from Ohio State last year, but 5'9" guard, and what a game performance she had tonight against a tough Syracuse team who came back from a 13-point deficit versus NC State earlier in the week. And that's a good win for Georgia Tech to pick up.
Georgia Tech now 2-2 in conference play as we get a look at the rest of the schedule in the ACC, and it's a big win for Florida State.
Yeah, Florida State with a commanding win over Clemson, Boston College, and Virginia. And then, of course, the big game on ESPN today was Miami at Louisville.
Ready to put the ball in play for the second half of the third quarter. Lexi Brown with the basketball right now. Scoreless in the first half for the first time this season. Pass by Brown is converted, and the first bucket belongs to Duke as Kendall Cooper was open.
Duke able to find that easy offense early, which they weren't able to find because of NC State's defense in the first half. And now setting up their extended pressure and get a 10-second backcourt call.
Numbers from the first half, just 32% from the floor for Duke.
And how about turnovers? Both teams turning the ball over 7 times, but NC State having 10 points off of those turnovers to Duke's none.
NC State also made 7 threes to just 1 for Duke, and that was from Rebecca Greenwell. Open shot. Into the corner. We'll keep it at this end of the floor. 76 wins as the head coach of NC State for Wes Moore. Took them to the postseason in 2015, the women's NIT. And the NCAA tournament in 2014.
Another job Wes Moore has done. Maya Spencer and Dominique Wilson and this veteran group have been to the NC tournament in her first year, and she told me this morning they are antsy to get back this year after barely missing the NCAA tournament last year. There's another turnover.
This is going to be Brown with her first 2 points of the afternoon.
So now that's 2 easy scores for Duke. Able to get a turnover on their full court pressure, and Lexi Brown able to score. You start to wonder now if the tempo of this game is changing a little bit in Duke's favor.
Lexi Brown, who averages over 17 points per game, tied for 5th in the conference, just made her first basket of the game. And the lead now 8 for NC State.
And Brown had to spend some time on the bench in the first half in foul trouble, so he's out of most of the second quarter.
Just 13 minutes played in the first half for Brown. Shot clock is at 8. Williams tees it up. Spencer tried to save it on the weak side against Greenwell, but out of bounds and Duke ball.
And that time, Rihanna Odom comes up high from the 2-3 zone, leaving Ashley Williams open for a 3. He's knocked a few of those down so far, unable to hit that one. And now Lexi Brown looking for more opportunities, being more aggressive. Good things happening for Brown.
Maya Spencer just picked up her first personal foul. Cooper walked.
10 Kendall Cooper, another turnover where she's been trying to do a little too much in the post area. You don't get something you like the first time, passing it back out to your guards and then trying to reestablish post position. And there's another turnover for NC State, and Maya Spencer getting caught that time.
Greenwell converts on the turnover. An 8-0 Duke run to start the second half, and it's a 6-point game. Maturine. Wilson kept it going for NC State.
This is the type of intensity I think head coach Joanne P. McCauley would like to have seen her team come out with, but have started the second half with a fast start, and now Maturine able to get her own offense off of her own rebounds.
7 points now for Maturine. Brown ran into a roadblock. Greenwell, difficult shot. Williams looking for some help. Waiting for reinforcements, double teamed in the process. Nelson ran into her own teammate Maturine, and then she traveled. 11th turnover for NC State.
And Duke just picking up the defensive intensity, and NC State guards feeling that pressure. And here's a look, a trap on Ashley Williams, able to get the ball to her post, and that's a good face-up move by Nelson, who drives into traffic and travels.
Greenwell leads the way with 7 points for Duke, trying to add to the total. An open jumper that most of the time she's going to knock down from mid-range. Misfires there.
And a big board by Maturine. NC State really hedging well on these high Duke ball screens.
Three-pointer rattles out. Nelson tried to come in over the top. Cooper gathers. And now the outlet. Lambert. Greenwell. Knocked away.
How about that hustle by Nelson from the other end of the floor?
Brown almost stole it. It's off of NC State as Wilson tried to grab it in front of the scorer's table. Duke basketball.
NC State guards just getting rattled by this pressure. We saw them really handle it in the first half, but again, Duke's intensity has really stepped up, and in extending their full court pressure, they've created quite a few turnovers.
Blue Devils have not won here in Raleigh since 2013 with a 10-point victory. They have won 8 of the last 9 played in Raleigh on the NC State campus, but a foul against the Blue Devils gives the ball back to the pack.
That time trying to run Rebecca Greenwell off of a staggered screen. And Kendall Cooper commits the foul in the screening action.
Third on Cooper, yes, and she's going to the bench, Chelsea.
So some foul trouble here for Duke.
Deflected out of bounds by Brown.
Lexi Brown, I think, just sets the tone defensively for Duke. Talk about her as being an offensive threat. One of the top scorers on the team. And also leads the team in steals.
5 rebounds now for Greenwell. Matthias. Got it back from Cheatham.
I've been impressed with NC State's defense, being able to guard the ball one-on-one and inside, sending help defense when they need it.
Nelson got tangled up there with Cheatham. She's got her second personal foul. Blue Devils, the interception and the layup for Lexi Brown, turning up that defensive intensity, but trailing by 8. 4:56 to go in the third. Well, some headlines from across women's college basketball. UConn 91 straight. ACC populates the top 25 with 7 teams. Includes both in our game today. And 45 points on Thursday against NC State for Alexis Peterson. 3rd most in ACC history. You see her Twitter handle there. That's an homage to Pistol Pete Maravich, who averaged 44 points per game in 83 games at LSU. The irony, though, is that Pete Maravich played at Broughton High School, where NC State played its games last year, while the renovation was ongoing here at Reynolds Coliseum. Pete's father, Press, was an assistant coach and head coach here, so a lot of symmetry. And to tie in with Alexis Peterson, an amazing 45 points.
Just so impressive. 17 for 19 from the free throw line, too, so she was hitting shots from everywhere.
I think Pistol Pete would have liked that performance by Peterson.
There is a difference, though, between scoring 45 points and averaging.
That's true.
45 points.
Good point. Now they're going to retire Pete Maravich's number 44. The Atlanta Hawks will do that on March 3rd. That was announced yesterday. Wore 44 because it was the average in college for Pistol Pete Maravich. Interesting little sidebar there. And some good research by our producer Ken Neal. NC State has only 2 points in this quarter.
Just a frustration foul there by Aaron Mathias, which will be her 3rd. So another Duke post player picks up their 3rd. And now you see a little bit of a smaller lineup with Odom playing the 4, which they have gone with this lineup before.
So Mathias eventually coming out of the game. Crystal Prim replacing Mathias.
They look to try to take advantage of Chelsea Nelson in there with this height advantage that she has.
They're going to whistle Nelson for a double dribble. It's now 13 turnovers for NC State. About to cross the 4-minute mark in the 3rd quarter. NC State has led for the vast majority of this game today. Lexi Brown has been contained. Spencer well defended. Odom a second chance. It comes off and Nelson comes away with it.
And again, an impressive job by NC State, just grinding out another defensive possession. Lexi Brown attacking, but that time Maya Spencer able to hold her off.
Brown off of the turnover. Lambert was turned away by the defending of Anderson, and now a whistle stops play. Anderson slightly overzealous, picking up the personal, and that's her 1st. For the sophomore for NC State, who will come out of the game and give way to Williams. Williams, who has connected on 3 of 7 3-pointers. Ashley Williams, the senior from nearby Cary, North Carolina. Greenwell shot goes around the rim. Prim had a shot at it, but the whistle stopped play with 2 NC State players on the deck.
And Williams trying to draw a charge there. Ends up getting called for the foul as she was unable to get up quick enough. Greenwell off the screen. Williams tries to draw the foul there, can't get up. And gets tripped over and called for the foul.
Just her 1st personal for Williams. Lambert with the crossover, knifing through the defense and gliding in for 2.
What a take by Lambert, able to finish as she extends that arm to get that little roll in over the front of the rim.
8 points for Lambert. None prettier than those 2. Nelson against the double team, unstoppable, and a free throw coming.
A big move by Nelson with 2 defenders on her. Here's Lambert. Little one-on-one action, rejects the screen. Look at this extension to finish with the little roll-in. And on the other end, Nelson draws the help of Greenwell, able to finish over 2 defenders and 1.
Unable to finish off the 3-point play for Nelson. tied up by Lambert. It's going to be NC State ball in the hell ball situation with the arrow favoring the pack.
Duke extending this full court pressure again. Just over half court, will look to trap on the sideline.
Eight-point lead for NC State. Led by 14 at halftime. Long rebound tracked down by Wilson to Spencer. Just over 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Monterine saves it to Greenwell.
Duke just playing so long in that 2-3 zone. Many hands in the gaps that time.
Greenwell's pass to Cheatham. Great catch and finish from Cheatham. 4 points for her. 6-point game. Wilson's three bounces off. Nelson and Cheatham were trying to get the board, and Lambert has it for Duke.
NC State with a quick three on that possession with a 6-point lead. You like to break the press and take opportunities if you have them, but working the clock if you need to, a way to manage the time.
Shot clock is at 8. Cheatham spins and got fouled. Nelson was the closest defender for the Wolfpack, and that is now 3 on Chelsea Nelson.
Here's O'Dara. Cheatham inside, patient. Ashley Williams unable to block that shot. Cheatham finishes over top.
Cheatham at the line is the top shot blocker in the conference. Shoots only 48% from the stripe on the season.
Number 14 now entering the game for Duke.
Mays returns for NC State. Cheatham, the senior from Oakland, California. Off the fingertips of Monterine, and now Lambert sets it up for Duke.
Saving a possession off the free throw line. Big second chance opportunity here for Duke.
Prim has some space to dribble. Contact. It's going to go against NC State. It's Mays, who had just come into the game in her second personal. Westmore on the left. Joanne P. McCauley on the right. Some of the more animated coaches along the sidelines in front of their respective benches as Prim is at the free throw line.
Crystal Prim had a career-high 6 points against Florida State, and Coach P said she really was a big spark off the bench and had a lot of energy, and again comes in and is able to find some quick offense.
4 points now for Prim in the full court pressure. Spencer tries to dribble between two defenders. Hits the deck at a foul. Called against Duke. That's Odom. Third, Leona Odom.
Now in the bonus. Going to the line for 2 shots. Duke had set up a good trap, but Maya Spencer able to try to split that trap and drawing the foul.
First free throw of the game for Spencer. And now Greenwell and Brown are going to come in for Coach McCauley.
As Duke has closed the gap, it'll be interesting to see how NC State continues to respond. They've played with the lead against some of these top 25 teams. Again, coming off that loss against Syracuse Thursday night, they had a double-digit lead. And in the fourth quarter, it was where Syracuse really elevated their pressure, picked up the intensity, and turned over NC State multiple times. And it was that fourth quarter where Syracuse won it.
85-75 was the final. Despite the loss, NC State has won 4 of their last 6 games. Inside the catch and the quick shot. Cheatham, 7 points. She's showing off some very skillful hands underneath the basket. Wilson trying to carve her way. Has to back it out. Lambert right on her hip. Ely. Shot clock at 10. Game clock now at 11. About a 3-second difference. Mays. Oh, net from the baseline. The last second shot by Lambert off the mark. 43-38. The 5-point lead for NC State as we head to the 4th quarter from Reynolds. .43-38 is the lead for the Wolfpack as we head to the 4th quarter. They have won 2 in a row in the series. That includes a win last year at Cameron Indoor Stadium. They did it with points off of turnovers, but in that 3rd quarter, Duke reversed the tables on the Pack. Yeah, Duke forced NC State into 8 turnovers alone in that quarter, and then able to capitalize on the other end. It was their full court pressure that they were able to extend, picked up that defensive intensity, and those traps are really what caused problems for NC State. They'll need to do a better job of taking care of the basketball in this quarter if they want to win. Duke had not had a point off of an NC State turnover prior to the 3rd quarter, but they have now closed the gap to 5, outscoring NC State 17-8 in that frame. Cheatham around Mays. Good back to the basket post move by Cheatham. 9 points now, Chelsea, for Cheatham. Here's that full court pressure. This time NC State able to break it. NC State did not make a 3 in the 3rd quarter. 0 for 7. 7 of 23 from beyond the arc in the game, and the shot clock is inside of 8. Wilson. Another miss from 3. And when the 3 is not falling, you have to find a way to get the ball inside, off the dribble or off the pass, but trying to find offense inside to get higher percentage shots is where NC State should try to look when the 3 is not falling. Offensive foul. Greenwell was driving, and Ely got in the way and had position. Big take by Ely to step up and draw that charge on Greenwell. Big possession back here for NC State. Kayla Ely, redshirt freshman from right here in Raleigh, making the play defensively. Mays on the feed from Williams. Could not complete the play. Back to Duke and Brown. On the heels of her defenders. Put the ball up on the cylinder, and it appears she will shoot some free throws. That's an aggressive take by Brown. Brown so quick, so good in transition. Good attack to the rim by Brown to draw the foul. Second foul on Ely. Brown, second best in the conference, 93% from the line. Another free throw coming. Their first 2 of the game. Trying to add to that ACC record, and she will. 55 in a row from the line for Lexi Brown. Now you can say it. I did not want to be blamed for that one. Spencer up ahead. Ely on the run. Backs it out. 41% shooting as a team in the game for NC State. Look at Nelson just work down low. As the ball moves, she's working inside, trying to create low post position. Shot clock is at 5. Spencer the kick. Ely the shot. That will be a shot clock violation against the Wolfpack. And now a chance for Duke to go ahead with 8:11 to go in regulation. I feel like Duke's defensive intensity has really fed into their offense.
They're more aggressive on the defensive end, and you see them being more aggressive on the offensive end as well.
Prim. Back on the wing to Brown. It's a three! Lexi Brown! And Duke has its first lead since it led 10-9 in the first quarter.
This is a different team we saw come out in the second half. The energy level is up. The pace is up. And there's another turnover. Just the toughness coming out here in the fourth quarter.
Shot clock to 10 for Greenwell, poked away by Spencer into the front row.
You could sort of hear the energy in the building deflate here when Brown knocks down this three. Big offensive possession for Duke there.
Stolen back by NC State. That three just the second of the game for Duke. Drive and foul. Dominique Wilson.
Wilson, who was perfect from behind the arc and on the floor in the first half. Hasn't scored quite as much here, but good attack to the rim, to the free throw line.
Foul is on Prim. Wilson trying to interrupt a 7-0 Duke run. .13 points now for Wilson at the line. 85% from the stripe on the season. And now 3 of 4 on free throws for Wilson. And we're tied at 45. Brown. Shot clock to 5. Needs to take a peek at that clock and make a shot effort. Driving Brown. Williams was there. She hit the deck. And it is on Williams, her second personal.
Might have been some miscommunication there on that high ball screen.
All right, hold your breath again now. Here we go. Brown at the free throw line. 55 straight, ACC record. More importantly, she has given Duke a 1-point lead.
That is the more important thing here.
6:37 to go. So the streak will end. 1 of 2 from the line. 8 points, but they've all come in the second half for Brown. So the streak ends at 56 made free throws in a row. An ACC record.
That is an impressive record. And big shot for Nelson. High lob pass from the top of the key for Maya Spencer. Easy catch and finish for Nelson. There's that inside offense that NC State has been looking for.
9 points for Nelson. Pack has the lead, but for how long? Nelson fending off Cheatham for the board.
And a big box out by the post player.
Williams for 3. It was right on line. Look at Wilson out of nowhere.
Boy, you can tell both of these teams want this win so bad.
Maturine. Lambert went up to get it. 78th time they have met on the basketball court. Long way to go to decide this one. NC State by 1. Duke able to get it right back. Faith Suggs, first basket of the game. What a time for your first hoop. 48-47 Duke.
Timely offensive board and putback there for Suggs.
only averages 1.5 points per game. Big bucket into Nelson. Great catch. And a finish. 11 points. Chelsea Nelson.
Again, through 2 defenders for Nelson. She has just been lights out inside.
Brown stumbling. And she traveled.
How about Chelsea Nelson inside, holding off the defender. Great pass by Maya Spencer to Nelson inside. NC State up 1.
Back inside a very noisy Reynolds Coliseum. You know, that's the one thing that certainly has not changed. And the momentum has changed. A 14-point halftime lead for NC State, but O'Dara Cheatham and the Devils storming back.
Yeah, O'Dara Cheatham came off the bench Thursday night and again today for the first time all season, but she has been a spark inside for Duke. Patience in her post moves, finding high percentage shots. Big game for Cheatham in the post play.
7th time this season she's gotten to double figures. She's getting a breather right now with NC State up by a point. Again, they've led by as many as 14. Duke's largest lead, 2. They had a moment ago, 45-43. This is Spencer. Monterine gave up the shot into the corner. And a miss from Wilson.
That's a good look. Go inside to Nelson, who's been scoring. Saw she was double teamed. Passed it outside to Monterine, who made the extra pass. So that's a good look for NC State.
They have struggled, though, this half. 0 of 12 from three-point distance. And Greenwell makes some pay with the drive.
Duke attacking off the bounce, especially from the guards, has been key here in the second half.
9 points, Rebecca Greenwell, to go along with 6 rebounds and 5 assists.
Rebecca Greenwell off the bounce, off the high screen against Nelson, who doesn't want to pick up another foul. Takes advantage of that.
The junior from Owensboro, Kentucky. Spencer. 8 on the shot clock. Spencer driving. Wilson, side of the rim. Lambert gobbles it up.
We talked about this being 2 of the best defensive teams in scoring defense in the ACC. Number 2 and number 3. Holding teams to just about 56 points a game.
Great defense on the Brown drive by Wilson. Up ahead, Spencer, and she'll lay it in.
Spencer turned on the Jets for that one. What a lead out. Great pass by your teammate. Good finish in stride. Didn't even need to put the ball on the floor.
6 points for Spencer. She gives the Wolfpack the lead, 51-50, and a timeout Duke.
And Spencer gets out. Good pass by Williams. Easy catch. Doesn't even need to put the ball on the floor. But Duke with the lead. Oh, excuse me, NC State with the lead by 1.
Two teams that did not play in the NCAA tournament last year looking for resume-building wins. Tom and Chelsea courtside, Reynolds Coliseum. 10 lead changes and 6 of them in this quarter alone, Chelsea.
Well, Duke has come out with a ton of intensity in the second half, has really limited NC State from behind the arc. But NC State able to find some transition in the last possession, attacking the rim. And Duke has become a lot more aggressive on offense as well.
Trying to overcome a 14-point halftime deficit. Greenwell just inside the line, and that's a 2.
How about Greenwell, who's been struggling to score coming into this game, keeping that confidence up, not being afraid to still shoot. It's a good look by Greenwell. One dribble to the left, sees the opening, holds that follow through. And I believe right now they're reviewing to see if her foot was in fact on the line.
Somewhat shielded in that replay there. Trying to keep an eye on the right foot. I think she makes a small hop right there. Boy, that is awfully close.
She does step back with that left foot, but that right foot stays close enough to the line, perhaps on the line.
Initially called a two-pointer on the court. You need indisputable video evidence as the officials are at the monitor. Checking on the shot by Greenwell. Bruce Morris, Joanne Aldridge, Jennifer Rezac poring over that replay. If they change it to a three, that would be 190 career threes by Greenwell, but they're going to keep it as a two.
And I think that's a good call. I mean, to us, it didn't look like there was indisputable evidence to turn it over. The top of her toe might have been right on that line.
As it is, 12 points, double figures 16 times this year, and 67 times in double figures in her career for Rebecca Greenwell. What a performance by both of these teams this afternoon. Spectacular basketball game. The lead continues to go back and forth. Duke owns it now with 2:20 to go.
You can just tell how hard fought this game has been the entire game. Both of these teams know how big this win would be.
Nelson the layup, and Spencer found her with the shot clock bearing down.
I said it earlier when I talked to Maya Spencer. She said when we need a bucket, we go inside to Chelsea Nelson. Just so solid inside, so efficient scoring for the post player.
13 points for Nelson. Spencer ran into a screen. Brown tried to feed it to Odom. Too tight to the rim. Wilson has 14 points. She leads the way, 13 for Nelson. They're the two pack players in double figures. Spencer. Cheatham made sure that never arrived at its final destination.
Only 6 seconds on the shot clock with that tip ball.
Nelson got the inbounds pass and got tangled up with Brown and Odom. Fourth foul on Odom. Wilson misses.
A good look for Wilson. Just misread that a little bit.
Duke has taken a timeout. 1:08 to go, and the pack by one against the visiting Blue Devils. Inside Reynolds Coliseum with 1:08 to go in regulation. NC State with a 53-52 lead against Duke, trying to extend their winning streak in the series to 3 in a row against Joanne P. McCauley and the Blue Devils, who have possession of the ball but trail by one. Cheatham tipped up. Odom couldn't get it. Nelson shovels it to Spencer.
And that was a good play. Isolation for Odom, drawing the attention to the other side of the court, running Greenwell off his screen. Odom just not able to score inside.
40 seconds to go. 10 on the shot clock. Monterrain into the corner. Wilson. Mid-range. Lambert. Only about a second difference. Shot and game clock. In fact, it's a half-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Come back for the final 23 and a half seconds with NC State by one. The lead has changed hands 8 times in the fourth quarter alone. NC State by one. 23 and a half seconds to go.
And the momentum has been going back and forth in this game. Every time Duke closed the gap, NC State found a way to respond. I thought Duke's done a much better job, especially in this quarter, of attacking off the dribble. But it's been Chelsea Nelson inside for NC State. So consistent, so efficient around the rim. And every time NC State's been able to get the ball inside to their post player, she's done some damage. Now Duke inbounding the ball with 23.5 seconds. Half a second difference, as you said, Tom, of the shot clock. Play earlier, they tried to run a misdirection to find Odom inside by running their shooters off screens on the other side of the floor.
Brown. Lambert. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Brown fires the three, side of the rim. Nelson ran it down and got fouled.
Well, broken play, not able to find anything initially. Tyra Lambert had a look in the corner, but passed it up to Lexi Brown, who called for the screen. Went to the right and tried to pull a three. You see her call for the screen, and her post player doesn't use the screen. Had 7 seconds left still on the shot clock when she took that shot.
Wolfpack takes a timeout. 5.2 seconds to go. Westmore's team was in control at halftime, leading by 14. Duke, a furious comeback. NC State has had its troubles from beyond the arc in the second half, and here's your game reset. Duke is out of timeouts. Arrow favors NC State.
You see Duke has committed 4 fouls. They will extend the full court pressure now and probably have to quickly foul to get NC State to the free throw line. And a reminder now, with the rule changes, NC State will get to shoot 2. But either way, it would still be a one-possession game, even if NC State knocked down both free throws. But you can expect Duke to foul very quickly here in this possession with only 5.2 seconds left.
NC State electing to advance the ball on the inbounds play. There's the immediate foul. Brown fouling Wilson.
And at 85%, that's somebody you'd want to put on the line. Your senior point guard.
Wilson in the game is 3 of 4 from the line.
Now, if Wilson, again, whether she makes 1 or 2, it's still a one-possession game. So with 4.5 seconds, it's enough time for Duke to get a few dribbles or off a long pass to get a look at the basket. I'd expect NC State to show some full court pressure.
$15 points. Dominique Wilson. 71st time in her career into double figures. And she can make it a 3-point lead. No timeouts for Duke. Lambert. Williams fouls her.
And that's a good decision because they're still not in the bonus yet. So you don't risk shooting a three. You don't risk them getting that shot off, but you take 2 seconds off the clock. And they can foul again. They're only at 3 fouls.
Greenwell stepped on the sideline, trying to get by Williams. There's only 0.7 left to go, and NC State has the ball and the 3-point lead.
And NC State calling for another timeout. Watch this play. Ashley Williams trying not to foul if Greenwell was going to throw it up. Greenwell steps on the line, though. Again, even if NC State had fouled that time, it would have been okay because Duke wouldn't have gone to the bonus until that next foul. What an unlucky break for Duke to just step out of bounds there. Ball going back to NC State now.
In this fourth quarter alone, the lead back and forth 8 times. It appears that NC State will leave the gym today with the win as Williams sends it all the way down to Wilson, and that is it. What a basketball game. Westmore and the Pack win it 55-52.
How about this NC State squad? They have a target 2.5 weeks it's been for the Pack.
First time since '96 that they have beaten Duke in 3 straight confrontations with the Blue Devils. Wow, what a game. 55-52. There is more from Reynolds Coliseum right after this. They've beaten Notre Dame. They've beaten Florida State. And now the Wolfpack has beaten number 12 Duke 55-52. What a performance by both teams as the Blue Devils nearly overcame a 14-point halftime deficit. In the end, though, it's 15 points from Wilson, 13 from Nelson, 55-52 as we go to Chelsea.
Coach, another top 15 win for your program. You told me beforehand you would let me know afterward if you were happy with the way you guys have opened up play. How impressed are you with this team?
Well, we just gutted it out. I know it was ugly. I know that second half was brutal. You got to give Duke a lot of credit. They had a great game plan. But our kids they're warriors, you know, they're winners. They just hang in there.
In the second half, you guys didn't score a 3-pointer after scoring 7 in the first half. What changed for you offensively?
We missed the shots. No, I don't know. You know, they mixed their press up, and they did a good job of, you know, really jumping in the gaps on our passes. We're going to have to do a better job of faking passes and attacking more. So they just did a great job defensively. But, you know, we got to look at it. As a coach, I got to get our kids better shots than that. So I'll take a lot of the blame.
And lastly, Coach, for you, one of the best backcourts in the ACC, and Dominique Wilson and Maya Spencer, your senior leaders. Dominique had a huge game for you guys today. What did she do so well that impressed you?
Well, you know, Dom, we're asking a lot of Dom right now. She's having to guard the other teams, usually one of their best players, one of their best scorers. And then offensively, we lean on her a lot and try to get her involved. So she got a lot on her plate, and I'm really proud of her this year. She's been buying in a little bit better and a little more focused, and that's good to see, and that's what you hope from seniors.
Congratulations, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
NC State is now 4-2 in conference play, 10-1 at home this season at Reynolds Coliseum. More to come in just a moment. NC State is now 14-5 for the season, 55-52. They get the win against Duke, despite the fact that Chelsea in the second half, they went 0 for 12 from 3-point range, but in the end, they have enough to beat Duke for the 3rd straight time.
Yeah, how about NC State? Just gutted out that win. Wes Moore said it was 2 totally different halves, but I thought Chelsea Nelson did a great job of finding her offense on the inside, and when NC State couldn't score from the outside, going inside to Nelson was a way for them to combat that.
Are all the games that we'll work together going to be like this one?
I hope so.
As good as this one? Great to be with you, and great to have you with us for a fantastic game in women's college basketball in the Atlantic Coast Conference on a Sunday here in Raleigh. For Chelsea Shine, I'm Tom Wormy saying so long from Reynolds Coliseum. Final score, NC State 55, Duke 52. Tomorrow, most of these same regional sports networks, it's a special Martin Luther King Day presentation of ACC women's basketball. Wake Forest taking on 15th ranked Virginia Tech. Broadcast time set for 1 p.m. You've been watching ACC women's basketball on your home for the ACC tournament. Good afternoon from Raleigh, North Carolina.